Hello world, welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to be making a sour cream pound cake. I'm making this for Thanksgiving. Look, with the light behind me, you see right through my hair. So it's crazy. But you're not going to be looking at me long. We're going to make sour cream pound cake. This is my grandmother's recipe that she has had. I don't know how long she's had this. Maybe the 40s, 30s, I don't know. Long time back. She was born in 1913. I know that. I'm not sure where she got this recipe, but I think she had it probably when her kids were still at home. So most of them are in their 70s or 80s now. So my parents and aunts and uncles. So I'm going to show you how to make my grandmother's sour cream pound cake. And I'm also going to make some hot tea because I want some hot tea. And I've got my kettle over here. Let's see. There he is. There's my kettle. So what I'm going to do is I have some water that I put through my little water filter jug thing here. I'm going to go put that in the kettle. I'm going to turn it on. This is an electric one. I got this at Walmart. I absolutely love it. It doesn't have any plastic inside, so you don't have to worry about plastic leaching into your hot water. Put that on, turn it on. It's electric, and it just pops off when it's ready, just like poof. So simple. All right, so there's that. Then I'm going to take a teaspoon. And this is what I do. You can use tea bags if you want. I prefer to use loose tea. So, hi, happy Thanksgiving, Kathleen. How are you? I'm making cake, you probably heard, and some tea just because I want to drink some tea. So here's a little strainer. I love these little things. You can get these probably Amazon, anywhere online. Look for tea strainer. And then I like to use loose tea. This is Twinings Lady Grey tea. It's like Earl Grey, only not quite as strong as Earl Grey. I like it a whole lot better. Hi, Jody. Hello again. I am making sour cream pound cake, and I'm having some tea. This is my loose leaf tea. Look at all that goodness in there. That has, what does it have in it anyway? It has orange, lemon, and citrus flavors, bergamot. So it's like Earl Grey, only a little lighter in flavor. It's not quite as strong as Earl Grey. So then I take my teaspoon, and I measure some tea of the loose tea, and I stick my hand in the sour cream. Look at that. And then I pour it in my little strainer with the lid, and then I wait for that to boil, and I move my sour cream out of reach. Luckily, I just washed. I'm all clean. Okay. And that does not take long at all to boil. See the blue light right there? That's my electric tea kettle. I got that at Walmart a few years ago. I don't know if they still have it there. I absolutely love that thing. It doesn't take any time at all. So I have my mug here. Now what I do is I put my mug in the sink and I put hot water in it so it pre-warms the mug so it stays nice and warm. And then all you do is you put this down in here, and then I'm going to pour the water in there, and you steep it for 3 to 5 minutes. Then you take that out, and you don't have any tea leaves in your cup. But you have perfectly brewed loose leaf tea. Okay, so now let's see. I'm trying to figure out how best to do this. I guess it'd be best. I have this phone holder thing here I haven't had before. So let's try. Oh, it's off. All right, let me go get that. Okay, here's my tea kettle. See, isn't it pretty? Look at that. And then pour into the cup. I'm going to put this down so I don't spill it. But I got back from the movie. It was really good. I thought I really liked that movie. It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I really liked it. I've just got 3 more I want to see. All right, let me put my timer on here. Okay, so then when that beeps, my tea will be done. Let's put this out. That's hot. Put it there. Okay, so let's see now if I can flip my phone here. And let's see, how can I do this? There we go. Look at there. Look at there. Look at there. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, then let's see if we can also make my light work. This is a little phone holder I got at Amazon that I got. It comes with a light on it. Okay, I actually want to pull this out, though. So now that doesn't work, did it? All we have to do is move it a little more. There we go. Come on now. Okay. See the little light? Isn't that cute? It's like a little miniature ring light. But I'm trying to make it work on the pan. Okay, there we go. Alright, so, you know what? I gotta have my beater. I think it's in the dishwasher here. Yep, it sure is. Okay, this is a KitchenAid mixer, and these are great, but I like this beater. I had to buy this separate, and I don't even remember who made this. I looked up silicone beater that fits KitchenAid on like Amazon, and it has this silicone edge. See? There we go. And it rubs, it scrapes the pan as you go. You do not have to scrape the pan. My favorite. Okay. Put it in there. This is actually a really big one. It's bigger than their standard size. It's a real big one. Okay, let's see. Just trying to get, that's going to be in the way, but oh well. Well, I think we can see. Okay, so this recipe that was my grandmother's, like I said, I don't know how long she had this, at least from the 40s or 50s, I'm thinking. It is sour cream pound cake, and it takes 2 sticks of butter. So I'm going to put that in there first. 1 stick of butter. This is what makes this cake so good. It tastes like butter. Oh my goodness, is it good. I got to turn on my oven. So let me turn on my oven. The oven goes on 300. Yes, just 300, because this is going to have to bake for an hour and a half. So it's going to take a little while. So you don't want it real hot. Then, here's the pan you bake it in. Can you see this pan? You can if I move this. There we go. This is the pan. I don't even know if you can buy these pans anymore, honestly. This one, my mother has one, and I got this one when one of my great uncles died. And his wife had left, she had, you know, a bunch of stuff there still, so I inherited this. But you need a tube pan like this. I don't know if you can do this in a butt pan or not. I'm not sure if they have enough volume. It might work. But this is the best pan. So then what I'm going to do with this pan is I'm going to put, normally I put shortening and flour, but my shortening was no good. So I'm going to use butter. You can use butter too. Butter and flour. Now I'll show you a trick. Do you hate getting grease all over your hands when you butter? I hate that. Oh, tea's done. Let me take this strainer out. Oh, yeah. Look how beautiful. Golden tea. Okay, there we go. Let me put this little strainer over here. And I also want to put some sugar in my tea. I don't like it plain. There's my little sugar bowl. Look how cute. And I'm just going to use my hand because it's just me. I got these little Demerara sugar cubes. That's a raw sugar. And I like these little sugar cubes because they're like pre-measured. So there's my little sugar. And somewhere I have a little spoon. Oh, here he is. Look at this. Isn't it cute? It's like a little demi-tasse spoon. So now I have some nice hot tea to have while I am baking my cake. Okay, there we are. Maybe not quite cold enough for hot tea, but I don't care. I don't care, I want it anyway. Okay, so here we have the butter and a paper towel and our pan. So what I do, so you don't get your hands so messy, is this. Look at that. No messy fingers. Take a paper towel and rub it around. Pretty clever. I didn't think it up. Saw it on a cooking show or something one time. I'm like, oh yeah. Why have I been doing it making my hands messy all this time? I don't know. Just do it with a paper towel. Make sure you get this tube greased too. I even do up here because sometimes it will come to the top of this pan is what I'm trying to say. So you want to even do this edge up here. This pan anyway. This cake will rise, it will rise actually out of this pan. And so you want it greased like everywhere so it doesn't stick. This is like the only cake I make that I don't put like wax paper in the bottom or parchment paper. This one will come out because it's just like all butter. Okay, there we go. All greased. Then we do the flour. And I'm sure you know how to do this. Just make sure also that you get it on this tube. So I like start by sprinkling it on the tube. It's hard to shake it up onto the tube. So just sprinkle it onto the tube. All around. Then, it's easy to hold this pan by the tube. Like up under the tube like that. Shake it around. All on the sides. And then what I do is I go like bang it against my hand over the trash can or the sink. You could do it over the sink. But to get all this extra flour off. So I'm over here now, and I'm just going to shake it at the top of the pan here so it gets on the top. Then I'm smacking it. So then it does not have excess flour. Very nice. Okay, so there's that. Kind of made a little flour mess down here. Let me get that. Okay, now we shall bring forth our pan. And we have our butter in there, so let's mix our butter. Soften the butter. You like to watch cooking. I just love watching cooking. So this butter is softened butter. I also let the eggs out, so, left them out so they're not cold. This cake has 6 ingredients. That's it. So easy. So then after you have done the butter, you're going to do the sugar. And it takes 3 cups of sugar. Because it has a lot of batter. This cake is so good. I have not found anybody that doesn't like this cake. It looks like a real kind of plain, simple cake, kind of boring. Oh, it's so good. Okay. So don't let looks deceive you. It looks really plain. It is fantastic. Okay, here's a cup of sugar. 1. And I'm just measuring it and then leveling it off. 2. This light is seriously in my way. 2. There we have. See? 3. It's getting low here. I'm going to have to put another one in. There we go. There we go. 3. Okay, then it says cream, butter, and sugar. So let's turn it back on. Always start slow unless you want to be bathed in it. Then we're going to add 6 eggs. This has a lot of eggs. And the eggs, I always put the eggs in a little cup just to make sure. Like that. Just to make sure they're good. So let's crack our egg. There's 1. These are room temperature eggs. You can use it cold. It's just that it doesn't re-solidify the butter if this is a room temperature egg. So mix 1 in. We get another ready. Two. I'm so glad that we all have Grandma's recipes still. 3. See, it's getting pretty good and yellow in there. 4. You see, you don't even have to turn it off. Just keep letting it mix. I love these mixers. 5. 1 more. And 6. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's mix this up a little more. Okay, that's mixed pretty well. Now, if sometimes this batter, when you're making it, at some point will look like it's kind of curdled or something. Don't worry about it. It won't hurt anything. If it looks like it's, curdled and lumpy and, oh, what's happened? It's fine. It just looks like that. Some tea. Okay, now, this recipe that Grandma had doesn't tell you a whole lot of stuff to do. Old-fashioned recipes, they don't. So this one says, cream, butter, and sugar. Add the wet ingredients, then the dry. And I usually do, though, I mix I kind of do flour, some of the sour cream, flour, some of the sour cream, and flour. Because like I have seen that before on cooking shows where you kind of mix wet and dry. So I kind of have a tendency to want to do that. You can just dump it in like she says. I think it turns out no matter what you do. It usually turns out. Okay, so I'm going to take this right here. This is a trick for I don't want to sift the flour. Okay, it doesn't tell you to sift flour, but if you don't want to sift flour, let me show you this little trick. Also caught this on a cooking show. Take your bin of flour and stir it with a whisk. This will lighten your flour, because the real problem with flour is it gets packed in the container, and when it's packed, you're going to get too much. It'll be too heavy. So what you really need to do is lighten your flour up so it's not packed. So if you take a whisk and just stir around in there, that's the same as whisking, or same as sifting. Pretty cool, huh? Takes 2 seconds, though. All right, now I'm going to take my cup measurer and my knife. And it needs 3 cups, so it's going to start with 1 here. 1 cup. Dump it in. Stir it up. Really slow. Okay. Then we have sour cream. It's a cup of sour cream. I already measured it out. You can buy a cup container, but these 2-cup containers were buy one, get one free. So yeah, guess which one I got. I love buy one, get one free. I'm a sucker for that. I mean, I'll only get it if it's something I wanted anyway, though. But it's when I see buy one, get one free, I'm like, oh, yeah. Sometimes I like buy 5, get 5 free. But not a sour cream. That wouldn't keep. Mix that in. Okay, so that was 1 cup. Now we're going to do cup number 2. This is King Arthur flour. It's all-purpose flour. I don't know if the brand matters, but I think Grandma had this kind. Now, that's the 2nd cup of flour. Now, I'm also going to put in the rising agent, and what this calls for is just baking soda. Because it has sour cream, the sour cream activates the baking soda, so you don't need the powder. So, baking soda. Now, her instructions say a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda rounded. That means you don't flatten it off. You round it. So it's kind of an imprecise measurement, but sorry, that's what it is. Okay, see like that? How it's rounded, see? There you go. It's more than a 1/4 teaspoon, but that's what it says. This is what I always do. Just don't flatten this one out, and I'm going to mix it in with the flour this time. And then let's stir that. Always make sure you use good baking soda. You don't want it to not rise. You know, don't use something that's 20 years old. You don't want to use baking soda that's lost its zip. Okay, there we go. I just mix it for a minute. Then we have the rest of the sour cream. The other 1/2 cup here. Scrape that in there. Now this is whole, full fat sour cream. I've never made it with any other. I've never made it with reduced fat. So does it work? I have no idea. I always use regular sour cream. I don't know if anybody else has tried it with low fat. I'd be too scared to risk all these ingredients on that. So I just make it with the regular sour cream. And then mix. Look what a beautiful batter that is. Okay, 1 more cup of flour, and we're done. Because we got our 2 sticks of butter, 3 cups of sugar, 6 eggs, 1 cup of sour cream, 3 cups of flour, and a rounded 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. That's it. I mean, that is it. So simple. Okay, in there. Last thing of flour. Mix this slowly. But look how that scrapes the pan. That beater, that beats the ones that come with this thing. And just mix it for a minute or so. Now look how, see, it is really thick. It's almost thick like cookie dough. It's real thick. See how it's clinging to the beater right there? It is not runny at all. It's going to be super, super thick. You can hardly pour it. That's what it is. Because it's full of butter. Like, look at this. So good. Okay, I'm going to take this off of here. But yeah, see, it doesn't even run. Yep, that's it. Now, I did not warm up the sour cream. I'm kind of scared to leave sour cream out. So the sour cream was cold, but the eggs and the butter, of course, the butter was soft. The eggs were room temperature. I have made it with cold eggs straight from the refrigerator. But you have to soften the butter. Not melted, though, just softened. This is pure butter cake. Now, I will tell you something that's missing from this recipe. I don't know missing, but it's just not in it. Have you picked up on what's not in this recipe that's usually in a cake recipe? There's no vanilla. No vanilla. Now, I suppose there are recipes, I have seen them and tasted them. There are recipes for pound cake that have vanilla in them. And I actually love the taste of vanilla. But for some reason, I like this cake better without added vanilla because it really changes the taste of this. And I want to taste the butter. Just want to taste the butter. And if you put vanilla in this one, I've never put it in this one, but I have tasted one that somebody made one time that had the exact same ingredients. And I thought, why doesn't it taste like Grandma's? And then she told me something about she put vanilla in it. I'm like, oh, well, no wonder it don't taste like Grandma's. Normally, I would prefer the vanilla in just about anything, but not this. No. You can try it both ways and see what you like, but this is it. And the other thing about this cake is you don't have to ice it. When it cooks in the oven, it's going to rise out of this pan, and the top is going to become like a crispy butter cookie. Oh my goodness. Don't just eat the top off of this cake. That's very mean to the other people who won't get a good piece of cake. Don't do it, even though you're going to be very tempted to snap off the edges of this whole cake and eat just this crunchy little cookie edges. But everybody else in your house is going to be mad. I promise they're going to be mad because it has been done. And everybody mad because they didn't get the good part. This cake is really good with coffee or tea or something. Now, you might be tempted, and you can do this, to use this like for strawberry shortcake, or you can put strawberries or any kind of fruit compote on it. You could put chocolate syrup on it. You could do that, but it is so good by itself that you get to where you just don't want to ruin it with something else. You just don't. You can put other stuff on top of it, but I'm telling you, you want to try it plain. Try it plain by itself first. And this cake is better if you make it the day before. That's why, even though this is for Thanksgiving, see how thick this is? Even though this is for Thanksgiving, I'm making it today because when it sits a day, it really absorbs all those flavors. So you have to kind of just lay it in the pan. It won't really pour. I mean, I can scrape it out of this. It's heavy, though. This is heavy cake. You know, they used to call this pound cake because it used a pound of butter, pound of eggs, pound of sugar. Well, we're not making that big a cake. That's why they called it pound cake. Everything weighed a pound. And then when you got that cake, man, it must have been 10-pound cake. I don't know. But it is a heavy batter. So to pick up this thing, it's hard. It's really heavy. It's mostly because of the butter. But see how it just, but it don't matter. It don't matter. It's going to turn out fantastic. I will smooth it when I'm done. But it really tastes better the next day. Although, it is really good warm. But you will find that if you eat it when it's warm, it'll be really good. And then the next day, it's even better. So that's why I prefer to make it a day ahead for Thanksgiving. And yep, it will sit. It can sit out on the counter. You don't have to refrigerate it. I usually, now you got to wait till it's completely cooled. Don't cover it. If it's warm, as you know, it'll just make condensation, and then you'll have a wet cake, and you don't want that. So let it completely cool before you cover it. And then I just put it, you know, like in a cake holder with a lid. Now this one, I think I let this one sit. How long do I let this sit? It doesn't say. So when it comes out of the oven, of course, no cake, you can't take any cake out of the pan right away or it falls apart. So you have to let it at least sit 15 minutes. This one you can probably let sit 30 or so, and it will come out. But see how I'll spread it? Now, this is so funny because my grandmother's recipe says on it, well, let me read what it says on it. I can't, it's behind me here. I want to spread it first. Now, when it goes in the oven, the butter will start to melt and it will even itself out. So, but I kind of try to make it even a little bit in the beginning. Let me get this off my hands. Okay, here's what a recipe says. After we cream the butter and sugar and we add the ingredients, put in a greased and floured tube pan right here. Bake at 300 degrees for 90 minutes. Yep, an hour and a half. Yes. 300 degrees for 90 minutes or until it tests done. To test done, you know, take a toothpick or something. Make sure it doesn't come out runny. If it's runny, just go another 5 or 10 minutes till it doesn't come runny. I have this little nifty thing. This was something someone gave me one time. It's actually a cake tester. And look how long it is. So this goes all the way down. I love this little thing. It's just a piece of wire. You probably could just get a piece of wire. Just make sure it's clean. And that's, you know, that's how you test it. And then what it says on her recipe is so funny is rises so high. Rises so high. What that means is it's going to rise out of this pan. It's going to like look like it's going to explode out of the pan. But it will sometimes overlap the edges a little in this inner tube. But it barely fits in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my oven. Let's see if I can move this. I've got a mess over here now. Sorry about that. Here we go. There's my oven. I don't know if that's going to stay. I'm going to take this and put it in the oven. 300 degrees I have it on. Already heated, preheated. And then that is going to make your house smell like heaven. And for an hour and a half too, because yep, it takes that long. There you see my jars in my cabinet. There we go. Let's see if we can make it look normal. It wants to. It's this thing is heavy. It's top heavy. This thing I got this on. Here we go. Let's try. There we go. Hello. So, and my tea. It's going to make your house smell good. And you're not going to see this for an hour and a half. Hour and a half. But I'll take a picture of it and show it to you when it's done. I wish I could share it with you, but so sorry. Unless you come to my family's house for Thanksgiving tomorrow. But everybody eats this cake. It won't last. I don't think there'll be leftovers. Everybody will take a piece home also, so it'll be gone. So I'm going to go ahead and go. And tomorrow, maybe I'll come tomorrow too, because, you know, I'm here by myself and I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I have nobody to talk to. And the cats are terrified of the mixer. The last time I used the mixer, they were hiding under the blankets on the couch. Looked like two mountains under the couch. I'm like, where'd the cats go? Hiding under the blankets. They wouldn't want to come out. So I leave them in their room. They have their room. I leave them in their room until I'm done so they don't get so petrified they can hide in there. But tomorrow I'm going to make, my sister and my sister-in-law and I all split up the food. So tomorrow I am making cauliflower casserole, because that's my mother's favorite thing. Cauliflower casserole and creamed carrots to go with the other stuff that we're all having. We're having ham, we're having turkey, I would have it all. So, if you want to see those recipes, even if you don't really like cauliflower, which I'm not that crazy about cauliflower, this is a really good casserole. Cauliflower casserole and creamed carrots is a thing my mother has been making since I was a little girl. It is so simple. 2 ingredients. Carrots and half and half. That's it. And it's so good. So I'm going to make those tomorrow. And I'll probably come on live and do it because, I mean, it gives me somebody to talk to. So I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you all later. And I wish I could share the cake with you, maybe some other time. Goodbye.